Yes. Well, what's up, everybody? What is going on the world? TBN, TBN. What's up, everybody? Welcome to or welcome back to TBN. I'm flying solo today, all alone. Danielle, my co-host, president of CASA, by the way, Danielle Jones. She's moving. She's somewhere in the middle of the country, just doing road trippy stuff. So we're not going to not have a TBN. TBN's flying solo today. You know, I've done this before. TBN just used to be me. That's it. We're going to be staying hydrated today because there's going to be a lot of what I imagine rage sweat sort of pouring down from my face. Like I said, this is TBN. This is the advocacy live stream. You want to know about news? Here's where you go. You want to know about advocacy? Here's where you go. You want to know about, fighting against the FDA? Here's where you are. You want to know about, fighting misinformation, fighting disinformation? Here we are. This is what TBN is for. I see you guys in the chat. I really appreciate you being here. You know, I always say this, the TBN stream isn't for everybody, but the people that it's for, oh man, it's for you. Cicero, I see there. Jason, New Wave Dave is here. Chur is here. Free Rider Vapers here. Breeze Tones is here. John's here. Vicky and Benji are here. The King Phil is here. Appreciate you guys being down for the cause. Happy Taco Tuesday, Michael Redfern. Happy Taco Tuesday. I'd like to, not based on more than just this comment, Michael, I think I've called you out before in other live streams, in my vlog live stream. I'm going to call you out here again. I think you're doing a great job on Twitter, man. There's influxes of people to Twitter sometimes. When there's news happening, people influx to Twitter and, you know, they're vapers and they're advocates and they get on there and they do their thing. And then, as people lose interest or as news cycles round off, we lose a lot of people. Michael, I've seen Michael going hard on Twitter, combating misinformation on the daily. I can't get on Twitter without seeing a reply from Michael or a like. Michael liked this tweet. Michael replied to this tweet. Michael corrected disinformation right here. And I want to say thank you, Michael. Thank you. Your tenacity, for lack of a better term, your tenacity for advocacy on Twitter, I find very inspiring. When I get on Twitter and I'm in a bad mood and I don't feel like being nice and I don't feel like talking to people and I don't feel like correcting disinformation and misinformation, I think about, Michael Redfern. So thank you, bro. Thank you, Michael. I really appreciate that. Jim Bubba, yo, buddy. Happy to see you here. Thanks for stopping by some TBN. You know, we had some, yes. Let's just jump into this, you guys. What's up, Cherokee? I see you there. Let's just jump into some news and goings on. In fact, I don't have this prepared right now, so if you give me 1 second, we had some breaking news, as it were. If we head over to, hang on, we had some breaking news, and I know that I'm not hyping this up as well as I should be. Let's see, where can I start here? How about this one? The first place I saw this was Azim Chowdhury. Azim Chowdhury works at /for the law offices of Keller and Heckman. They do multiple, they're in charge of multiple lawsuits going on right now on behalf of the vapor industry, to the FDA. They're on it. Sorry, I just need to hydrate real quick. I feel an extra dehydrated right now, and you know what? That's unacceptable. There's always time to just stop and hydrate your brain. No hydration bumpers here. We take it seriously here. This is like, street rules hydration. Street rules hydration. Old school. You just chug it. You just chug it. Okay, so This is some breaking news, you guys. Breaking news. Azim Chowdhury tweeted this out just a few minutes ago. The 11th Circuit Court, let me restart here. The 11th Circuit Court has ruled 2-1 in favor of the petitioners challenging their PMTA denials, including our client, BD Vapor, ruling that the MDOs were arbitrary and capricious because FDA failed to consider the relevant marketing and sales access restriction plans. This is good news. This is actually really spectacular news. This is news that I was not expecting today. When you're in the vape space, you know, and you just keep getting beaten over the head, just constantly, like, oh, nope, that lawsuit failed, this lawsuit failed, FDA did this, FDA banned that, no more flavors, this lawsuit failed, this article said this lawsuit failed. You just get used to the losses that when there's like even the slightest, even when there's like the slightest little hinty of a good news, it's like, it feels like we won. Ern says, we won. We didn't win, but damn it, it feels like we won a little bit. Feels like we won a little bit. So that's the breaking news. Now, there's more on this. It's not just the Azim tweet. Vape Law guy that I follow on Twitter, BD Vapor, Diamond Vapor, Johnny Copper, and Pop Vapor all won their appeals against the FDA. So all of these companies, if I'm real quickly try to get you up to speed, all of these companies, they submitted PMTA applications to the FDA. They said, here's our thousands of pages of a PMTA. Here's our millions and millions of dollars. We crossed all the T's. We dotted all the I's. We have a marketing plan. We have all this stuff. Here you go, FDA. And then the FDA, with their little fatal flaw ruling, just went through and decimated all these PMTAs and just handed out 1 trillion marketing denial orders. Okay, maybe not 1 trillion, but it was pretty close. 1 trillion marketing denial orders. So all these companies turned around and sued the FDA and said, hey, you can't do that. We believe that what you did was arbitrary and capricious, and things like moving the goalposts and introducing new rules and new regulations without going through the proper channels, without having a public feedback period, without properly informing the manufacturers and people submitting PMTAs. They do have many legs to stand on against the FDA. This is a win. This is a win. There, no way around it. This was a win. I had some more information here about this. Greg Connolly, victory in the 11th Circuit for 4 vape companies. I actually believe, yeah, right down here, he corrects it and says it's actually 6 vape companies. So what does this mean? I think this is just the actual paper itself. Yeah, here it is. This is the actual 11th Circuit United States Court of Appeals, Food and Drug Administration. This is easily 19,000 pages long. Should we just read all this? Should we read every word of this right now? No, I'm just kidding. But essentially what this says, Greg breaks it down a little bit here and says, for the non-lawyers and non-experts, hi, that's us, non-lawyer, non-expert, this decision does not order FDA to grant them any PMTAs. So that's not what this means. It doesn't mean that the vape company won and now they get a PMTA and the FDA just has to go, damn, we really tried to keep you off the market, but you caught us. You caught us with a legal, that legal mumbo jumbo. Okay, fine, here's your PMTA. No, it definitely doesn't work like that. The FDA may and likely will deny these PMTAs in the future. This is according to Greg Connolly. They may do that. But these companies could end up in the queue for review in 2025, which keeps them in business. So I think the best case scenario, we should definitely read all of it. We got plenty of reading to do today, Jason. Plenty of reading to do today. Don't even trip, dog. So these best case scenario is that these companies end up in the queue for their PMTAs to be reviewed in the year 2025, which means these 6 companies, let's see, 6 companies? What are we getting on here? What did Jim McDonald say? It's 6 companies. Okay, Jim McDonald just says it's 6 companies. So that means that these 6 companies ideally will be staying on the market, supplying vape shops with vapor products and e-liquids while they're waiting to get reviewed in 2025. That's a few years away, at least 2.5, 3 years away-ish. I think this is a good thing. I think this is a tremendously good thing. There's been a lot of, like, not necessarily overt, but a lot of tides changing behind the scenes and the such as. I think this court ruling, in my opinion, is another one of those change the course, like change the direction of this entire argument, because now a court, judges have said, oh, they looked at the evidence, they said, oh, yeah, FDA, arbitrary and capricious, you 6 vapor companies, yes, in favor of you, stay on the market till 2025. Stay on the market till 2025, when you may get reviewed again in 2025. And then maybe in 2025, FDA could have all their ducks in a row and have everything buttoned up and just be this streamlined, efficient government agency, which in and of itself is almost a joke, right? But maybe by 2025, they're this efficient, streamlined agency. And when 2025 comes, BD Vapor is going to go, okay, here we go again. Here's all our stuff. Here's the PMTA, million pages, millions of dollars. We have everything in there. Maybe now you'll actually take a good look at it. You never know. Yeah, F the FDA. I don't have that sound clip. I don't have that sound clip on this stream, unfortunately. This is great. Big deal. Big news. There was a statement, I believe, by the American Vaping Manufacturers Association as well that I would also like to read. Yeah, statement. Here we go. Look at this statement. You want to see a statement? You want to see a statement? Here's a statement for you. Got statements all over the place. Statement from AVM on the 11th Circuit ruling in the BD Vapor versus the FDA. Amanda Wheeler, the president of the American Vapor Manufacturers Association, says, at long last, the FDA is being held legally accountable for its irresponsible and deeply misguided war on vaping. Those policies have been spurred on by political corruption and unaccountable prohibition front groups corralling countless Americans back to cigarette smoking and destroying innovative small businesses nationwide. The 11th Circuit has now recognized what millions of ordinary Americans have been saying for years, that FDA's capricious overreach must be rejected. Ha! The widespread harm that has already been done by FDA should leave a shameful stain on the agency and the individual officials who disregarded the widely accepted science that nicotine vaping helps people quit smoking and that Americans have a fundamental right to make that choice for themselves. Let's go, Cemetery Gates. Yeah, sure. If you like what you're seeing here on the stream, if you like my spacey background, just go ahead and give me a like. I really appreciate those likes. They really do go a long way. I know it just seems like a simple, dumb little, oh, anyway. Goes a long way. Goes a long way. Cream pie, face meat, cream pie, cream pie. So that's where we're at. The 11th Circuit Court has ruled in favor of six different vape manufacturers. They, I believe, will be allowed to stay on the market until they get re-reviewed. But I can't say for sure. I can't say for sure. But this is good news. This is good news. I'm not trying to downplay it. This is good news. I feel this is very good news. Just going to have a quick little vape break. You know, I just got done eating lunch. This was a photo finish. I was almost late to my own stream. Harm reduction is a human right, Michael Redfern. Harm reduction is a human right, which brings me to my other just really disappointing piece of news. Really super disappointing piece of news. You know, people are going to rag on me for living in California, and that's fine. And I hear things like, oh, California, and oh, what's it like living in a coastal city where people get murdered every day? And I'm like, I don't know, because that's not really what life is like here. Stop watching the TV. I'm a California native, resident, LA resident, taxpayer, compassionate human being. SB 57 would have really helped the drug war in the state of California. This would have saved countless lives. And SB 57 was vetoed by Gavin Newsom. And damn it, just when I was starting to not completely despise Gavin Newsom, he fucks up. He fucks up and vetoes harm reduction legislation. Drug Policy Alliance right now on Twitter. SB 57 would have allowed LA, San Francisco, and Oakland to open overdose prevention centers, which provide a safe space for people to use drugs under the supervision of staff trained to treat and prevent drug overdoses and link people to drug treatment and other critical services. This would have been spectacular. This would have been spectacular for the state of California. We would have been a front runner in drug harm reduction if Gavin Newsom was more concerned about the citizens of California than he is about his political career. You see, I believe that Gavin Newsom, he's trying to run for president in 2024. He shouldn't. He shouldn't. But I think he's trying to, and he's trying to like distance himself from socialist California. He wants to appear much more moderate. Rather than executing his job as governor and actually saving the lives of California citizens, he's like, but the White House, Gavin. Shut up, Gavin. You're not going to win the presidency. You shouldn't even run. You should just take care of the state that you've been charged to take care of. So that was really upsetting news. Really very hyper upsetting news. I can't stand that. That upsets me more than a lot of other things on the earth. More than a lot of other things on the earth. Let's see. What else can we do before we talk about Parade magazine and their... I don't even know if there's a strong enough word. Garbage reporting? What's a worse word you can call terrible reporting? Garbage reporting? Trash journalism? I think that's the... Trash journalism seems to be the one. Now, on the other hand, non-trash journalism, Jim McDonald wrote something for Vaping 360. I didn't even know that this was a product until FDA came out and said that they were going to protect kids from nicotine gummies. Nicotine gummies? Gummies? Yeah, look, I know. Gavin is entirely... I know. He's entirely too political for this legislation. I wanted to believe that Gavin Newsom would do the right thing. Gavin Newsom says, I support radical harm reduction ideas. Oh, okay. Well, then let's take a page out of New York City. You know, they've been saving hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people's lives with their safe injection sites. Why don't we bring that to good old progressive California, where Gavin Newsom apparently supports harm reduction, except for when he vetoes it and condemns tens of thousands of Californians just to go die. Go die. Gavin wants to be president, you guys. Go die somewhere else. Go die somewhere else. I am warning the country. Gavin Newsom is not an acceptable presidential candidate. Not even a little. Nope. Hard pass. Oh, sewage journalism, green-eyed lady. Sewage journalism. This is it. That's the thing. Sewage journalism. Green Eye Lady, you win. You win. Back to some non-sewage journalism. FDA deals a death blow to the nicotine gummy market. Yeah, calling them a public health crisis waiting to happen, FDA has warned a Florida manufacturer to remove its nicotine gummies from the market. The event is notable because few people were aware the product existed before the FDA's splashy announcement, which included a press release, a Twitter thread, and attaboy social media posts from tobacco control groups like the Truth Initiative. Count me as one of those people. Did anybody even know that nicotine gummies existed? That they were a thing? Anybody? Nope. Me neither. I mean, maybe some of you had. There's a 20-second delay, you know, and yeah. Yeah. Hey, look, if we're talking about California again real quickly, yes, Arnold was a Republican and was more progressive than Gavin by a fucking mile. Arnold is the only California politician that vetoed a vape ban in California. In California in 2009, I think I've told this story a trillion times. In California in 2009 into 2010, there was just a straight up vape ban. Like all vaping would be banned in California. It made it all the way to the governor's desk, and Arnold went, nah, I'm not going to sign this. I smoke cigars. People in California should be allowed to smoke cigarettes or cigars or vape if they want to. Thanks, Arnold. Appreciate it. You basically saved vaping the first time in California. If Arnold came back to California and ran, I would vote for him. 100% I would vote for him. Yeah. So back to nicotine gummies. Okay, I'm sorry. Back to nicotine gummies. I didn't know this was a thing. I've never heard of a nicotine gummy. Nicotine gummy, no knowledge whatsoever. Yeah, who knew? Nobody knew. And apparently nobody knew because this isn't really like a really real thing. Greg Connolly said the FDA has taken down a product that 23 people use in the U.S. regularly. It fits into tobacco control's long and storied history of being distracted by bright, shiny new objects, all while cigarettes continue to be sold. It kind of boggles the mind. I mean, it severely boggles the mind that anybody at FDA, or especially Dr. Robert Califf, like you're a man of science, you're a cardiologist, you can look at the market and go, cigarettes, whatever, only 480,000 deaths every year, year over year, year over year over year. You can look at that and go, nothing we can do. But nicotine gummies, this is the next public health disaster just waiting to happen. We cannot allow nicotine gummies to be on the market. This is a detriment to public health. What about cigarettes? Nicotine gummies are a detriment to public health. This is a nightmare waiting to happen. What about cigarettes? Still silence? Okay. The manufacturer of the gummies, Florida-based Cravenick, owned by VPR brands, Vapor brands, was cited by the FDA for selling synthetic nicotine-containing candy without submitting a pre-market tobacco application. The FDA gained authority over synthetic nicotine on July 14th. Here's a spectacular tweet from Matt Cully, featured in this Vapin360.com article. Matt Cully, everybody. Like, I love Matt Cully. He's one of the most rational, level-headed, clear, concise speaking people ever. I want to be more like Matt Cully when I grow up, if I'm being real honest. Matt Cully says, so, FDA Tobacco is trying to create a fake panic over nicotine gummies. They're demonizing Crave for their high-nic, kid-friendly products when you can literally buy a bulk pack of nicotine gum with 50 times the amount of nicotine in the package, and they come in more flavors. So this right here, 1 milligram per square. 1 milligram of nicotine per square, or you can buy Fruit Chill Gum Nicorette with four times the amount of nicotine per piece over the counter. But the nicotine gummies that didn't do a PMTA, those are the scourge of public health. This is the next big health catastrophe just waiting to happen. Wait till kids discover candy. Oh my God. Oh my God. Hey kid, do you want to spend $1 on a bag of Skittles? Or do you want to spend $25 on 12 pieces of 1 milligram nicotine gum? Oh, sure. Yeah. They're definitely going to choose the nicotine gum, aren't they? Definitely. Sorry, nicotine gummies. Here, let's look at this real quick. Okay, so it's 12 pieces, 12 nicotine gummies at 1 milligram a piece. 12 nicotine gummies at 1 milligram a piece. If I exclusively used Crave nicotine gummies at 1 milligram a piece, I think I would just be eating them nonstop all day long. It would be like one, just all day for as long as I'm awake. Just one as often as I can. I think that might satisfy the nicotine craving I have. Or I could just take a few puffs of this and be fine and not have to gorge on 1 milligram pineapple nicotine gummy. I could probably just eat that whole pack in like what, just maybe one every half hour. Maybe I eat a whole 12 pack of nicotine gummies, 1 milligram. I might eat one entire pack every hour or so. That's how much nicotine it would take from a Crave 1 milligram gummy. 1 milligram gummy. Quite the death blow here. The warning letter was accompanied by a full-blown press release from the FDA Center for Tobacco Products, including quotes from the FDA Commissioner Robert Califf and the Center for Tobacco Products Director Brian King, suggesting nicotine candy could be a serious health threat. We remain unwavering in our use of compliance and enforcement resources to curb all unlawful marketing of tobacco products, especially those that youth could easily confuse with something they consume regularly like candy. My operating theory right now is that regulators, legislators, lawmakers, important people who are making laws for the country just assume that we are stupid as hell. I think they just operate assuming that the general public is just dumb as a box of rocks. No, they're not. No, people can't tell the difference. People can't tell the difference between regular candy that we've been seeing our entire life and then this new Crave nicotine gummy. They're basically the same. There's no way to tell the difference between them except for one is sold at convenience stores and one is sold at adult-only vape shops, or maybe the nicotine gummies were in convenience stores. Maybe that's where the confusion was coming from. Maybe kids in the candy aisle, they weren't satisfied with the wall of candy in front of them. They wanted to go up to the register, ask the guy behind the counter if that little white tin that says Crave on it, if that's candy for children. Do they think exactly? Like, are we all in fucking preschool right now? That's insane. No, they can't tell the difference. You guys, some poor person might buy these for their kid thinking that they're regular old Skittles. I am not a preschooler. Yep. I mean, same, Sexy King Phil, same. The problem is vaping isn't like a one-size-fits-all thing. It's just not. We were successful with it. Maybe you guys were successful. Addy Tooney, Thobai, King, Kennedy, you guys were successful with it. Captain Kirk might have been successful with it. But it doesn't mean it's going to be successful for everybody. And some people might need gummies and vaping and gum and lozenges. I'm not here to decide how much nicotine you need to stay off of combustible tobacco cigarettes. That's up to you. You get to decide that. I mean, you would think that you would get to decide that, but it doesn't really appear that that's the doesn't really appear that that's the road we're going down right now. Today's action should be a wake-up call for manufacturers selling these illegal products, and the FDA is actively working to identify violations and swiftly seek corrective actions, said CTP Director King. Keep in mind that Brian King is probably the worst thing that has ever happened to vaping, and now he's actively in a leadership position at the Center for Tobacco Products at FDA. He's the one who says dumb shit like, "This should be a wake-up call for manufacturers of these illegal products." All one company that doesn't even sell them anymore. That's the best part. Crave doesn't even sell the nicotine gummies anymore. Sometimes I need 12 milligrams. Sometimes I need 6 milligrams. Sometimes I need 3 milligrams. Sometimes I'm chain vaping 6 milligrams. Sometimes I'm on the couch chain vaping 6 milligram with a 12 milligram pod. And you know what? That's for me. That's for me to decide. I get to decide how much nicotine I put in my body. I get to decide how much food, sugar, fat, alcohol, smoke, cannabis, alcohol. I already said that. I get to decide those things. I get to decide what I consume in my body. I've gone on this rant too many times. You could eat nothing but Velveeta cheese for every meal from now for the rest of your life. You could eat a pound of Velveeta cheese every day and no one gets to say shit. No one gets to stop you from doing it. No one gets to ban cheese. No one gets to tax cheese to prevent your cheese eating habits. Nope. You're welcome to America. You can eat cheese every day for the rest of your life. Nothing but cheese, and no one will stop you. But the second that you flirt with nicotine, whoa, now there's a moral objection. Before, when you were just eating cheese and, ruining your body, or maybe you were just drinking alcohol and ruining your body, but now you're doing something that's addictive. Nicotine. No. That's where we have to stop. That is the line in the sand. You're allowed to do a lot of things. You can kill your body with alcohol every single day if you want to. You're allowed. No one will stop you. You could go to the Bevmo down the street and just leave with 15 handles of vodka. No one would say anything. The guy behind the counter would probably be like, "Having a party?" And you go, "I mean, kinda, yeah. I'm going to go get blackout drunk with 15 handles of vodka." Okay, have a fun day. Have a fun time. That'll be, you want to use your debit card? Have fun. But if you want to flirt with nicotine, no. That is where we morally disagree. That is where the federal government gets to step in and go, no. You don't get to quit smoking that way. Anyway, so no more gummies. I'm sure the people that were using the gummies are devastated. And honestly, I'm not trying to downplay that, because what if? What if there's people who used to smoke cigarettes, they found nicotine gummies, and they went, "Whoa, I can just pop 1 milligram nicotine gummy every few hours, and I don't need to smoke cigarettes. This is great." Maybe someone was relying on these products to remain smoke-free. Maybe. So I don't want to downplay that. But the idea that the FDA is being sued for the way that they handled vaping PMTAs, they've approved combustible tobacco cigarettes, they've banned Juul, and now they're going after nicotine gummies, all while cigarettes are available everywhere. Everywhere. That's the default. Like, that's the go-to. Oh, no other nicotine options? Always cigarettes. They'll always be cigarettes, and they'll always be available, and they'll never be banned. And they'll always be combustible. It's infuriating. It's infuriating. It's like, okay, FDA, you do you. Chase some shiny things. I'll put a link to this, obviously, in the description. I'm going to put a link in the chat right now. What's up, an advocate for liberty? You out there being an advocate for liberty? Hey, there's Addy Tooney. I'm sorry I missed you earlier, Addy Tooney. I appreciate you being here. Appreciate you being here. Yep, flute-flavored alcoholic bevies? Totally good. What, are you kidding me? Vodka-flavored frozen popsicles are available at convenience stores. That's fine. There's no data to show that alcohol is bad for your body, okay? Nothing. There's no public health. There's no undesirable public health outcomes from frozen vodka Slurpees, okay? Have one every day. Have one every day if you want. No one's going to stop you. Everybody knows that. Come on now. Oh, yeah, the nicotine gummies. Anyway, this is the tweet. Nicotine gummies are a public health crisis just waiting to happen among our nation's youth, particularly as we head into a new school year. I'm guessing that 0 nicotine gummies have made it into any school whatsoever, at all, in any capacity. So, Caliph, you can just stop what you're doing right there. What else? Oh, we had some, had a little bit new data. Monitoring the future. I really wish Danielle Jones were here. She could expand on this a little bit. Monitoring the jury. Jury's still out on alcohol risks. Yep. Jury's still out. I like to imagine a world where we treat alcohol and nicotine, appropriate to their risk. Alcoholic popsicles are out there. And here's the thing, Phil. Here's the thing, bro. I don't want alcohol popsicles banned. I don't want alcohol ice cream banned. I want alcohol popsicles. I want alcohol ice cream. I want that thing. I want those things. But if a politician is going to look America in the eyes and say that nicotine gummies are the next public health, scourge waiting to happen, and then be fine with alcohol-filled ice cream, that's not okay. I'm sorry, that's just not okay with me. Alcohol fucks you up. It causes like 17 different types of cancer. Alcohol is not good for your body. Its only purpose is to intoxicate. That's it. It might taste nice, but the purpose of alcohol is to intoxicate you. That's it. That's the one purpose. Oh, long day at work. Time to have a beer. Yeah. You're altering your mood with a substance. You're altering your mood with drugs. It's the same thing when you have coffee in the morning. You're altering your brain. You're altering your mood with a substance. All comes down to altering your mood with a substance, whether it's nicotine, caffeine, alcohol, altering your mood with a substance. But for some reason, alcohol popsicles, vodka popsicles, alcohol-infused ice cream, these are fine because kids don't enjoy ice cream or popsicles. What kids do enjoy is things like flash drives, which is why, okay, not even I could do the mental gymnastics to get through that. I know, the hypocrisy kills me. The hypocrisy drives me insane. And usually, like, just as a general rule, I think I've said this before, hypocrisy, like, it's ugly, you know, and it's gross. But sometimes, like, generally I'll agree with the person on one side of their hypocrisy. If someone was saying, oh, don't drink alcohol, it's bad for you, and I have a moral objection against alcohol, and that's why you shouldn't drink it. And then that person goes and secretly drinks alcohol in their own time and they enjoy beer. I'll agree with one of their sides, the drinking part, just not the other side of it. So hypocrisy hits me in a weird spot. It's like, well, you're saying something and you're doing another, but one of those things I will agree with. I'll either agree with what you're doing or what you're saying. You know, alcohol helps me be witty. Yeah, look, that's true. That's true. They although they can't really print that on the side. They can't say, you know, Jim Beam, it'll fuck you up, but damn, it makes you witty. Can we put that on the side of a bottle of Jim Beam? Jim Beam, it will fuck you up, but damn, you'll be witty. I like that. We can put that on a beer glass. Beer will fuck you up, but man, it helps you stay witty. Yeah, go get them, Phil. Enjoy. Have one, you know? I enjoy my weekly beers on the vlog. That's really the only time I allot myself to like have some beer and alcohol, and I look forward to it, and I enjoy consuming it, and I enjoy the flavor, and I enjoy the effects, and I enjoy how it you know, changes my brain. I enjoy all these things. I enjoy altering my mood with substances because humans have been doing it since the beginning of freaking time. Oh, love chat. Oh, can I add this to the broadcast? Yeah, did it. Got it. Thanks, love chat XYZ, heart emoji, best adult dating sites, woman emoji, people kissing emoji. So moving forward, sorry, love chat. You're gonna have to get, you're gonna have to get banned or whatever. I'm sure my moderators are on it. Alcohol helps me get an appetite, and is the other yep. Alcohol helps me get an appetite, and it has other benefits. Very witty and fucked up. Look, I'm not disparaging alcohol. But when this comes down to it, we're not evenly applying these rules, and we're not regulating based on relative risk. We're just not. There's relative risk involved with drinking caffeinated coffee versus not drinking caffeinated coffee. There's relative risk involved when you eat something like a Big Mac instead of something like a caprese salad. Relative risk. Alcohol versus not alcohol, relative risk. Smoking versus vaping, relative risk. It's all relative risk. Everything is risky. Literally everything is risky. Sitting right here at this computer, I am taking risks just being here. We live in a risky world. Why are we trying to nerf it? I don't know. I'm just ranting right now. I wanted to mention before the Parade magazine Hogwash. I wonder. No, I don't know. I'd like to think that they don't. Whenever you see Star Trek, they're never arguing about stuff like this. They're never arguing about whether or not the poor kids at school should get lunches, which some people think they shouldn't. So that's fucked up. I'm assuming they don't argue about trivial things like that. Like, oh, this is my land and you're too close to my land. No, they're out there zipping around the galaxy, telepathic communications. We just haven't evolved past that yet. And it's because everybody's right, you know? Everybody's right. Nobody's wrong, everybody's right. Jake Scrapwood, I love this. THC will make even the worst comic funny. Alcohol will make the flattest floor feel wavy. It's like you know what you're talking about sometimes, Jake Scrapwood. Appreciate that. Yeah, you drove on the highway twice today? Yeah. Unbelievable. I was just reading about a hellacious accident in the valley. It's like 2 fatalities. Just driving. Risky. It's risky. It's risky. Now, when it comes to risky driving and things that are risky, do we, A, teach someone how to drive? You know, do we educate them and teach them how to do things safely? Or do we just ban driving? It seems like if driving was nicotine vaping, that it would have been banned by now. In California, especially in the Valley, we have a problem with what's called a street takeover or road takeovers, where a few people in their Dodge Challengers will take over a street and race and do donuts and stuff, and they'll end up getting in accidents and striking people and killing people, and kids get killed all the time, and cars get destroyed all the time, and people end up in the hospital, you know, just paralyzed from the neck down. Daily. This is a daily occurrence. People are dying in cars in the Los Angeles area daily. So the cops, they put down like little bump strips, and they're like, this we're going to protect from car takeovers, and they just do donuts on these bump strips, and it's like, okay, this is useless. Notice that banning cars is never on the table, because no rational, reasonable person would ever consider banning something as like a legitimate path forward to stop people from doing something that you don't want them to do. Just ban it. Oh, okay. Ban murder too. People still murder people, even though it's illegal and banned. Banning stuff is literally Stone Age level thinking. I don't like that. Ban it. Ban it. Ban it. Literally like Stone Age level thinking. Never want to ban cars, though, despite them killing tens of thousands of underage people every single month of the year. It's crazy. Accidents will happen. You can teach people, but you can't avoid it. Let people live their life. Here's the thing, Vim. Yes, life is inherently dangerous. Life is inherently risky. And you can tell people, avoid harm. Wear a helmet. Vape and don't smoke cigarettes. Don't drink so much alcohol. Don't eat overly horrible sugary or fattening foods. Eat a balanced diet. I can tell you all this stuff, but ultimately it's up to you. Ultimately, it's up to you. Life is dangerous. There are risks everywhere. You have to decide for yourself what risk you're willing to do and willing to put up with. You know, ban car wheels and make them go back to the Flintstones. This is the first sound advice I've heard all night. This is it. If they did this, you'd have guys out there just doing donuts on their rims. You know, they're not going to... It's hard to stop the Dodge Challengers from doing donuts. People feel like this is something that they want to do. They feel that this is impressive to other people. You know, I've never once in my life saw like a Dodge Challenger tear off down the road and been like, that guy's fucking cool. No doubt about it. That guy's just straight up fucking cool. He probably had to press on the gas so fast, you guys. So fast. He's just cool. He's just super cool. Ban seatbelts? Yeah. I guess we could ban seatbelts. Hey, before we get to Parade Magazine, sorry, I know we've been going almost an hour now and I haven't shut up about it. No, they never could, Matt. They never could. Never could. There are dozens of us who enjoy our mustaches. Yeah. Tell people don't jump from the roof to the pool. Yeah, see, that's my house, my rules. That's my house, my rules. People that want to ban things are the same people that drank when they were underage. Now they are older and they want to keep others from having the fun they had. It's hypocrisy at its highest level. There are so many parallels with this narrative right now going on in the United States. The people that used to do bad things don't want current people to know that they used to do bad things. It's like, the grandparents that threw rocks at the black kids for wanting to go to school. Now they don't want their grandkids to know that they threw rocks at black kids for wanting to go to school. That type of exact thing. I did see, sorry to be all over the place, Dodge just announced that they aren't making any more electric cars. Well, good for Dodge. Here's the thing. Dodge's electric cars were terrible. They made an electric Charger that was awful, and it was loud as fuck. They put all these speakers on the outside, so it still sounded like you were having an internal combustion engine. Why? That's the worst part of a car. Cities are loud because of car noise. Let's make an electric car. It's going to be cool, futuristic, completely silent. Wait. Can we have it sound like a diesel engine? Can we make it sound like that even though it's not a diesel engine? Can we make it sound like a diesel engine? I feel like that's completely more disingenuous. I mean, unbelievable. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm a little all over the place today. It's because I have no guide rails. I have no guardrails. I have no Danielle Jones here to keep us on point. I have no Danielle Jones to fact check me. So chances are everything I'm talking about today is just bold-faced lies. I'm just kidding. Of course, that's not true. Okay, back to the news. We had some new government data about vaping. CDC and FDA, they do the Monitoring the Future survey. Monitoring the Future. And I believe the Monitoring the Future here, I have a little bit of background information here. Monitoring the Future, this is national data on substance use among adults aged 19 to 60. Huge range. Oh, what up, Batman? Foutub, appreciate you, Foutub. Happy to see you. This spans from 1976 to 2021. Monitoring the Future. Loads of data in here. On not just vaping, electronic cigarettes, nicotine, smoking, and the such as general tobacco use, but everything. Every substance that they ask about, and there's results of it. Gregory Connolly posted a graph on Twitter from the Monitoring the Future survey that says cannabis vaping is now nearly as popular as nicotine vaping among adults aged 19 to 30. That's pretty interesting. I think that's crazy interesting. Past 12 months, 81% said they drank alcohol, 42% cannabis, 21% vaping nicotine, 18% vaping cannabis, 18% cigarettes, 18% and some change other drugs. So when we talk about vaping, it's going to be more crucial and important now than it ever has been that vaping is a verb. Vaping is a verb. Vaping is an action. Vaping is the process. Vaping doesn't delineate what's inside your vape. It doesn't say if it's nicotine, zero nicotine, THC, cannabis, CBD, melatonin, whatever else they can vaporize. Vaping is a verb, and it's really important that we differentiate what is being vaped, what you're vaping matters, what you're vaping matters. You can't just say vaping. Nobody that vapes cannabis calls their vaporizers an e-cig. They just don't. Not even a lot of nicotine users call their device an e-cig. But they have these confusing nomenclatures, and that's why EVOLI is confusing, because there's vaping and e-cigarettes involved in it. Vaping is a verb, and that is critical. Appreciate you, Rhett's beard. Appreciate you. There was a little bit more out of this Monitoring the Future survey. This is it's just a big, gigantic, robust document that, like I said, covers lots of stuff. So there's probably going to be stuff coming out of this Monitoring the Future data over the next weeks, months. Stuff's going to be coming out of it. This is just some preliminary, let's say, data. So in addition to cannabis vaping becoming more popular than nicotine vaping among 19 to, 30-year-olds, something like that, here's some more data from the Monitoring the Future. Johnathan Foulds, PhD, he says, we know daily cigarette use is heading fast towards zero in U.S. teens, but this is also happening in young adults. Rather than initiation or just being delayed, only 4.4% of 19 to 30-year-olds smoke cigarettes daily. I do not care what anybody says, vaping did that. Vaping got the 19 to 30-year-olds down to just over 4%. Now, 19 to 30-year-olds, do we realize how many people that is? I mean, if things keep going the way that they're going right now, in terms of vaping replacing smoking as a habit for the majority of people, I think that vaping is going to end cigarette smoking in the United States before FDA can even get their thumb out of their ass. By the time all the dust settles and FDA, however many years from now that they finally decide to regulate vaping and regulate Juul, I think by the time that comes, people are going to go, nobody smokes anymore. Nobody in America smokes anymore, FDA. While you were over there with your thumb up your ass trying to figure out over the last 20 years how to regulate vaping and how to make sure it's appropriate for the protection of public health and how to make sure that these products only get to adults and don't actually, what's that? Smoking's gone? Oh, okay. Guess all that work we were doing was for nothing. I think vaping's just going to kill smoking in the United States before the FDA can even do anything about it. They're not even going to know what happened. We didn't approve any products. Hey, guess what? Doesn't matter. Life finds a way. Smokers don't want to smoke. And look at this chart. Look at this chart. This is an insane chart. 30-day prevalent e-cig use among respondents aged 19 through 50, okay, by age group. So the red is the 35 through 50. The blue is the 19 through 30. Look at this. This is cigarette use. 1988, 23% among 19 to 30-year-olds. 23% cigarette smokers in 1988. And look how it doesn't dip nearly anywhere until about 2006. I don't know if you can see this right here, if you can see my mouse. You see where it starts to dip down, where it's like 19.6%, 20%, 19.5%. This is the first time in 2006 that it drops below 19% prevalence for cigarette smoking among 19 to 30-year-olds. Not 2006 is when vaping hit the United States of America in very small splash. 2007, vaping started actually being a thing, being marketed in the United States of America. Vaping caused this drop in smoking undeniably. And then look how quickly 06 to 21 drops compared to 1987 to 2006. In 1987, 23%. In 2006, 19%. This much time, no drop in smoking. Maybe little divots, maybe little up and downies, you know? Maybe that dropped to 19.6%. Maybe that was because of some arduous taxes or something like that. Little tiny ups and downs, little peaks and valleys, till you get to the vaping age, 2007 and beyond, and then suddenly, over the course of, 4 years, smoking prevalence goes from 18% to 12 to 11 to 9 to 8.6 to 7.6 to 6.4 to 5.3 to 4.4. And tobacco controllers are congratulating themselves. Well, we really did it. All our shit finally paid off. No. Vaping. Steady decrease. Exactly. Since 2006, steady decline. No increase any year since. Vaping did that. And anybody that thinks that vaping didn't do that, okay, I mean, you're wrong. You're just straight up wrong. I can't think of a more wrong thing to say other than, no, vaping. It's just coincidence that in the years between 1988 and 2006, there was no drop in smoking. And then as soon as vaping comes on the market in 2007, we have this astronomical drop in smoking. That's just a coincidence. E-cigarettes lead people to smoke tobacco. How can you even say that looking at this graph? How can anyone say that with a straight face looking at this graph? Oh, really? Oh, so you mean all the vapors that started vaping in 2009, the next year when smoking dropped even more, and then the next year when smoking dropped even more, and then the next year when smoking dropped even more, and then the next year when smoking dropped even more? You mean to tell me that eventually, those vapors are going to switch back to combustible cigarettes? All right, psychopaths, fucking lunatics. So the great thing about all of this is we just get more data every year. We get more data, legit data from FDA, from CDC, from these big, nationwide surveys. We have data from the UK. They do their own National Youth Tobacco Survey, except it's deeper. They ask more questions, and it's broader. They ask more people. Huh. No youth vaping in the UK. That's interesting. I wonder if it's just physiologically, are Americans different from British people? Is it the vinegar? Do British people consume more vinegar than Americans do, and that's why our youths are going through a youth vaping epidemic, and in the UK they're not? Or is it that the UK's data is better than our data and more specific than our data? And the CDC just asks, smoking once in the last 30 days, that's a vapor or that's a smoker. If you vaped once in the last 30 days, you're a vapor. They don't delineate between weed vaping. They don't delineate between nicotine vaping. They don't ask how frequently. Nothing. You vaped once in the last 30 days, you're a youth vapor. You are a vapor. There's just no way around it. We designed this. We designed the survey. We ask the questions. So there's only going to be more and more and more and more and more data. And I would bet dollars to euros that next year the National Youth Tobacco Survey is going to show even lower youth smoking numbers and even lower youth vaping numbers. They're both going to go down, but that will not stop Campaign for Tobacco-Free Kids, Bloomberg Philanthropies, and the Truth Initiative from making another claim that youth vaping is skyrocketing despite it dropping consistently since 2006. I mean, we had a big spike in 2019, peak before Ivali, and then boomed 60% down, over 60%. It's because they call their underwear pants. Is that it? Is that it? Daryl, look, I agree. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. And the good news is, if you are near any local vape shops, there's 6 manufacturers now that basically have a stay of execution for the next few years. So you'll still be able to purchase your liquids, purchase the liquids you like. Hopefully purchase the liquids you like. Even with a limited selection, I'd like to think that someone could still find a liquid that they like. Flavors is something that flavors is going to be the hardest sell for vaping. People don't understand flavors. People don't understand the idea of having a flavor that is your flavor, that is the flavor that you vape. And then if you don't have access to that flavor, you don't really enjoy many other flavors. Like it's one of the most critically important parts of vaping. Not even one of. I think it's the single most important aspect of the success of vaping is flavors. Exactly, Jake. Exactly. Exactly. They're going to pat themselves on the back. Oh, look. See, our bans and taxes are bringing the numbers down. No, it's not. It's that youth experimentation with things like nicotine is generally short. It's what they would call a fad, I guess. That, and, I take so much comfort in knowing that vaping is directly attributable to the lowest youth smoking rates in the history of our nation. I like that. I don't care if it upsets parents. I don't care if there's mad, angry Karen parents who are mad that their kid's vaping. I don't want that kid smoking cigarettes. And harm reduction is harm reduction regardless of how old you are. So if someone is a smoking cigarette person, that person, regardless of age, should be allowed to quit in the greatest, most, perfect way possible. And that's vaping. Flavored nicotine vaping. I do not care. I do not care. Harm reduction is harm reduction is harm reduction. Even if you're 15 and you've been smoking since you were 13, I think that kid should get to vape. I don't think we should force that kid to continue to smoke cigarettes for another few years until he's old enough to legally go buy a vape. It's ridiculous. Why is it such a radical idea that, you don't want people to smoke cigarettes? That's crazy. Okay, so monitoring the future. Yeehaw. We did it. Stuff's happening. I'm gonna focus now on the last little bit of stuff that we had to talk about. This is where we just rage. This is where we just rage. Do I even have a bumper anymore? I have a bumper still, and I didn't even realize it. If anybody's been on Twitter, Michael, I know. If anybody's been on Twitter the last few days, you might have seen this article from Parade Magazine. I'm not going to be linking to it in the description because it's, as Green-Eyed Lady pointed out, sewage journalism. Sewage. Sewage journalism. You ready to rage? Now, we're going to read through some of this. But before we get there, let's read some hot takes on this whole thing. Sloppy journalism. Christine Del Nevo, who I talked about last week in my vlog video, she just left Rutgers University to take a position at the FDA's Center for Tobacco Products. Christine Del Nevo on Twitter says, sloppy journalism, Parade Magazine. E-cigs may not be harmless, but they aren't as harmful as a cigarette. There isn't a more dangerous nicotine delivery device than cigarettes. Plus, Randomized controlled trials show e-cigs are more effective than traditional NRT for cessation. Hashtag do better. Thank you, Christine Del Nevo. Thank you. People are skeptical about you, Christine, but I believe you're a person of science and you want the truth out there. Parade Magazine's original tweet, ready for this? You ready for this? Urinalism. Urinalism. Sewage urinalism. Urinalism. God, I love that. If it was easier to say, I'd be on board 100%, but urinalism is really hitting with me right now. 100%. Yeah, it's crazy, William. It's crazy. William here says that, whoops, where'd you go, William? Where'd you go? Quit smoking cigs after 40 years, only with the help of vaping. Live in Oregon. They are currently trying to ban flavored nicotine again. That's right, in Multnomah County. This is saving my life. I talked about Multnomah County last week in the vlog live stream, and the public health lady that is dumb as hell trying to pass this flavor ban. She did this weird circular logic thing where she's an active, like, clinical doctor, and she was talking about vaping and said, if a cigarette smoker came into my practice, I would encourage them to switch to vaping because it's far less harmful. But we have to ban vaping because youths that use it will graduate into cigarettes. And if they do, I would recommend that they switch to vaping because it's less harmful for them. But we have to ban vaping because youths will use it and graduate to cigarettes, which if they do, I would recommend that they use vaping because it's less harmful than cigarettes. That's the only logic going on in Washington State right now in Multnomah County where they're trying to ban flavored nicotine vaping. It's bonkers. It is bonkers. Their logic is flawed beyond words. I hope that can get taken down. I haven't seen an official call to action yet from CASA, but hopefully that's a thing. Hopefully that's a thing. The idea that e-cigarettes might be better than traditional cigarettes is not a crazy one, but the evidence is showing that's simply not the case. Fuck Parade Magazine with a gluten-free dildo. This is what we call merchants of doubt. And this is the most, in my opinion, reprehensible practice that exists on the planet. The idea that Parade Magazine is out there with millions of readers, and they are honestly going to publish a piece telling someone that smokes cigarettes that vaping might not be the answer for them because of reasons. Those reasons, well, they come from Stanton Glantz. The reasons come from Stanton Glantz, and it hurts my brain. Here's what a fellow named Seth Mnookin had to say. Now, Seth is a journalist, author. He wrote a really great piece in the Boston Globe, which I'm going to talk about in a little bit, about vaping. He had to say, this is a shockingly bad story. It's hard to believe it ended up in a legit publication. Professor Glantz, whose Twitter IDs him as retired, makes incredibly ignorant comments that the author just accepts as facts. Truly shameful. Truly shameful. What else does he have to say? There is so much voluminous evidence that vaping is much less harmful than smoking, it makes me wonder what reporting the author actually did. I address a lot of these issues in my story, in the Boston Globe, which, don't worry, I'll get there at a later date. He goes on to say, and this is a quote from the article, we're still going to read it a little bit. They say this in the article: turning to e-cigs as an alternative is kind of like swapping chocolate ice cream for vanilla when you're on a diet. The flavors are different, but at the end of the day, you're still eating ice cream. This is a flat out lie that is killing smokers, actually killing them. If a smoker was interested in vaping, maybe wanted to read this article, maybe to get some more information about vaping, Parade Magazine has convinced that smoker that that person would be better off just smoking cigarettes. Too many unknowns in vaping. Why would you switch from vaping to cigarette smoking? That's like switching from chocolate ice cream to vanilla ice cream while you're on a diet. You're still eating ice cream. Or no, not completely, actually fucking completely different. It's two completely different products. I may still be using nicotine, but I'm not smoking and burning and combusting a fucking deadly inhalable combustible tobacco cigarette. A better analogy would have been something like turning to e-cigs as an alternative is kind of like swapping chocolate ice cream for sugar-free vanilla yogurt while you're on a diet. Period. That would have been a good analogy. That is a straight up lie. I can't believe how ragey this makes me. Seth! It's really atrocious. And it's precisely this type of dreck that has led so many people to incorrectly believe that there is no difference between vaping and smoking. Just shocking, Parade Magazine. Just shocking. Parade Magazine should issue a correction or pull the story. I'm not calling out the author by name because these are group efforts, and I have no idea if she was pressured into this take by an editor. But if she's reading this, she should really take a look at the facts and realize her name is attached to something embarrassing and harmful. Oh, we're going to get there, Steve. Don't even trip, dog. The short answer is yes, kind of. It gets worse. More on Professor Glantz, who seems to be the main source for that horrendous Parade Magazine story. He's previously published studies on e-cigs where the data did not allow many of the broad conclusions. He was also sued by 2 former subordinates for sexual harassment. Now, for all intents and purposes, Stan Glantz should be canceled by now. He should be canceled. I don't know if Meredith or that other woman from PAVE know that Professor Glantz is a little bit of an Uncle Touchy, has some sexual harassment lawsuits against him. I wonder if they'd be so proud to promote his science knowing that he's retired, disgraced, Uncle Touchy, retracted studies, Stanton Glantz. How is Stanton Glantz still causing issues with vaping while being retired? Good Lord. I thought, oh God, good God, Stanton Glantz is finally retiring. Oh no, it turns out he can just keep doing all the more damage because Parade Magazine listens to him like he's truthful and has something relevant and smart to say. Back to Seth. I've written for Parade Magazine in the past specifically because it reaches such an enormous audience across the entire country. Smokers are, on the whole, poorer and more likely to be disadvantaged than non-smokers. These are the people that this piece actively harms. And no, actively harms is not an exaggeration. Every time a smoker vapes, instead of having a cigarette, they are harming themselves less. If smokers believe there's no difference, there's no reason to substitute. This cannot be stressed enough. And there is tons of evidence supporting all of that vaping is less harmful, that smokers who vape smoke fewer cigarettes, etc. Again, I'll link to a small number of these in my Boston Globe piece. Seth's really pimping out his Boston Globe piece here. None of this is to say that vaping is not harmful. It is. From a health perspective, it's clearly better to not vape. But and I can't repeat this strongly enough, there are no legitimate researchers who claim it is as harmful as cigarettes. He can't repeat enough. I can't repeat enough. I cannot repeat this strongly enough. There are no legitimate researchers who claim it is as harmful as cigarettes. None, zero. None, zero. Even vaping opponents who argue that curbing youth vaping is more important than considering e-cigs as harm reduction tools acknowledge that vaping is less harmful than smoking. So, Parade magazine took a big, important health issue about which there is honest disagreement and promoted a claim that no legitimate science or researcher makes. It's really hard to fathom, A, how they arrived at this, and B, that they actually printed it. Actually printed it. Seth, scathing takedown of Parade magazine. What the hell is wrong with you, Parade magazine? Well, I'll tell you what the hell's wrong with you, Parade magazine. There's a little bit more to it. Should we read some of the article? Should we read some of it? Let's read a little bit of it. Why? What's the worst that's going to happen? Rage sweat? Rage sweat? Smoking versus vaping. Is one better for your lungs? Here's what the experts say. The idea that e-cigarettes might be better than traditional cigarettes is not a crazy one, but the evidence is showing that's simply not the case. You guys, I'm sorry. I know you all quit smoking with vaping, but according to Parade magazine, we may have made the wrong choice. Let's see what happens, but we may have made the wrong choice. For years, you were a member of the Pack-A-Day Club, enjoying a quick puff in the parking lot before work, another drag on your lunch break, and then chilling out with a leisurely smoke on your way home from the office. Or perhaps it was just a casual smoke to relax with friends on the weekends. But then, your friend started experiencing shortness of breath and developed a weird cough, and your doctor diagnosed her with lung cancer. It was a big enough wake-up call that you decided to quit, and you bought yourself your first Juul. It took a little getting used to, but after about a month, you were hooked on vaping. No smoke in your clothing, no icky aftertaste in your mouth, no rummaging through your bag to find your lighter again. Not that you gave up cigarettes entirely, but now you had another way to satisfy your cravings, one you figured was better for your health. After all, no one dies from vaping, right? Right. Actually, Parade magazine is 100% correct on that. Nobody dies from vaping. That's one thing, look, I'll give it up to Parade magazine. That is true. That's about as far as I got before Parade magazine's credibility was just completely covered in sewage. Green-eyed lady. Completely covered in sewage. No one dies from vaping, right? Well, not no one. Prior to 2020, there were reports of 68 deaths related to the use of vaping products and about 2,700 vaping-caused hospitalizations, according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. In the years since, no additional stats have been released, but more deaths have met the criteria to be considered vaping-related deaths. Everybody following this so far? Experts are still trying to get to the bottom of these e-cigarette or vaping-associated lung injuries, also called E-Valley. Experts are still trying to get to the bottom of this? We can fact-check this real quick right now. Actually, this is a transcript from December 20th, 2019 on EVALI from the CDC, where they say that 49 of the 51 samples all contained THC. They repeat the phrase vitamin E acetate, 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 probably let's see how many times. Oh, no, I don't want to search for that. Oh, damn it, I went to the wrong spot. I was trying to word search for vitamin E acetate. I'm pretty sure, I don't know, Parade Magazine, but because there was 68 deaths in 2019 and 0 in the following years, and then the CDC said this was 100% related to black market vitamin E acetate contaminated THC cartridges. But sure, experts are still trying to get to the bottom of it. Still, 3 years later, after the CDC already got to the bottom of it, there's still experts apparently trying to get to the bottom of it. Someone email these experts that CDC link and say, look, we got to the bottom of it. Here it is. All these experts who don't know what... This was where all of their credibility went down the drain. Oh, you're talking about EVALI that had actually 0 to do with already legal, already regulated nicotine vaping. Okay. So that's the first little merchant of doubt thing. Don't smoke, don't vape. You know, if you're a smoker, don't vape because 68 people died in 2019 of mysterious vape illnesses. So keep smoking. Merchants of doubt. Given the fact that vaping does away with tobacco, it's natural to conclude it's a healthier alternative to smoking. The idea that e-cigarettes might be better than traditional cigarettes is not a crazy one. You can see why some people might think that, says Stanton Glantz, a professor, retired, disgraced, retracted professor of medicine at the University of California, San Francisco, and former director of the UCSF Center for Tobacco Control Research and Education. But the evidence is showing that's simply not the case. Their entire headline, the entirety of their headline is just a quote from Stanton Glantz. No credibility. 0 credibility. Parade Magazine has 0 credibility now. Stanton Glantz still at the default 0 credibility as before. His status hasn't exactly changed. Maybe he went down a little bit, but I think like 0 credibility is the lowest credibility, zone that you can be in. Stanton Glantz has lived there for the last 13 years, and they used a Stanton Glantz quote for their headline. Confused? We get it. It's a lot to take in. Here's what you should know about vaping versus smoking when it comes to your health. I can categorically and empirically say right now that there is nothing that you need to know that's in this article. There's nothing that you need to know about smoking versus vaping that's in this article. The most fascinating part about this entire article, and we can't possibly read the whole thing because it's 19 pages long, but I would encourage you to read it and get all ragey with me. My favorite thing about this entire piece is they're constantly backpedaling throughout the whole thing, constantly backpedaling. They'll say things like, well, there's a lot of science that shows XYZ, that vaping is astronomically safer than smoking cigarettes. And then they always do the but mysterious things and chemicals. We're merchants of doubt. I mean, vaping is better than smoking, but EVALI, you don't know what's in them. Liquids, vegetable glycerin, big sounding scary words. And then they go on to say, well, it actually really does show that vaping is less harmful than smoking, but these experts disagree with these experts. So if you're a cigarette smoker, don't bother, just keep smoking. Parade Magazine is actively causing death in America. Does someone want to clip that, make it into a clip like a congressman? You know, like their big congressman moments? There's nothing you need to know about the difference. Traditional cigarettes, also called combustible cigarettes, and e-cigarettes, also referred to as vapes, share a common purpose: to provide nicotine to the person using the product. So you can either get it in the safest way possible or the most harmful way possible. Nicotine is a stimulant that helps people stay focused and alert. Ironically, the experience of smoking and vaping itself is psychologically soothing to many people. What do you mean? Does that mean I enjoy it? That's one of the part that really sticks in their craws when we enjoy it. So I'm just going to sit here and enjoy the fuck out of this nicotine. Oh, yeah. 6 milligram. This is a Sifu Stash. This is a Baby Come Back. It is a tobacco flavor. I know. Damn. Now there's metal in my blood. Fuck. Department of Health and Human Services was right this whole time. Now I have heavy metal in my blood. Here's the thing. I'm fine being the experiment. I'm fine being the petri dish. I'm fine being the guinea pig. I've been vaping for 13 fucking years, and I have no plan on slowing down. And if 10 years from now, if 15 years from now, I go to the doctor and I get, oh, yeah, you heavy metal poisoning. It was probably from the 20 years of vaping. In 20 years from now, if I have heavy metal poisoning, don't give a fuck. I'm happy to be that experiment, because that means that maybe just don't vape for 20, 30 years. Maybe then we'll have some actual harm instead of metaphysical made-up harm. Even in the long term, if nicotine, the other option is cigarettes, okay? We know what cigarettes do. That's the other option. That's the other option from vaping. You want to combust cigarettes? What are you, crazy? The patients I see tell me they smoke because it makes them feel more relaxed. Yeah. Well, you know, nicotine is a nootropic. It has cognitive enhancing capabilities. Very accurate. It does make me feel more relaxed. Choi MD, a pulmonologist at the Cleveland Clinic in Ohio, says they cannot stop because the nicotine addiction is so strong. But while both electronic and combustible cigarettes contain nicotine, they differ in the mechanism by which they deliver the chemical to the user. They didn't have to use the word chemical there. They could have said substance, but they chose chemical because it's a scarier sounding word, and they have to be merchants of doubt. They have to make you doubt this technology at literally every turn. Literally every turn. With e-cigarettes, a metal coil heats liquid in the vaping device, then releases nicotine as an aerosol that people inhale. With combustible cigarettes, burning tobacco releases the nicotine particles. Seems like really, really big differences. Really very big differences. Well, you see this right here. This is a Ford F-250. The point of it is to get you from point A to point B on a round wheel. This is a bicycle. The point of it is to get you from point A to point B with round wheels. These two are the same thing. Okay. All right. Cool. Everything with wheels just a vehicle now. Let's skip ahead. I'm going to skip ahead here. In fact, before we even get into like the health risks of vaping, I don't know if any super chats came in, but I would like to go check. I believe there was one from Fisher. Thank you, Nick. We appreciate all you do. Fishy, I appreciate all you do. And honestly, I love what I do. I love this. I wouldn't want to be anywhere else. I just want to be here. I just want to be yelling about news and advocacy. I'm just going to, New format for the GrimmGreen YouTube channel. I just decided, just right now, TBN every day. Monday, Bro News Day. Tuesday, Bro News Day. Wednesday, Bro News Day. Thursday, Bro News Day. Friday, Bro News Day. All we're going to do every day of the week is just rage. No, I'm just kidding. Of course, that's not going to happen. Of course, that's not going to happen. But I wanted to come over here. We've read a little bit of this article. It's already infuriating. We know that their headline came from a Stanton Glantz article, which I don't know if I need to remind you. Stanton Glantz is retired, disgraced, multiple sexual harassment suits against him, and he's had multiple vaping studies be retracted for being unreliable. That's where we're at. This is our expert on vaping, Stanton Glantz. Wait, there's more controversy with this article? What do you mean? How could there be more controversy with this article? Well, the American Vapor Manufacturers Association tweeted this out. Update. It appears that the garbage article in Parade magazine was a recycled piece that they first published in 2020. But wait, there's more, and that's right. IED Geek here, Jody, says a Parade magazine article dated August 17th, 2022, with reprehensible errors about vaping is getting a huge amount of attention from the respectable harm reduction community. However, it's actually a ghost article from September 28th, 2020, still error-ridden. So they took a 2-year-old Merchants of Doubt scare article featuring Stanton Glantz, and that was one of the first, like, ding ding, what a weird red flag that is, because in the article they say that Stanton Glantz is a professor at UCSF, but in 2022 he is not a professor at UCSF. So essentially they wrote this article in 2020, refreshed it a little bit, and then released it again 2 years later. Vaping versus smoking. One is better for your lungs. Here's what the experts say. Vaping versus smoking. One is better for your lungs. Here's what the experts say. You can look at the date. That's September 28th, 2020. But wait, there's more. Apparently the article didn't do enough damage the first time. Apparently smoking rates didn't go up enough the first time, so they felt the need to reiterate and tell cigarette smokers, keep smoking. You guys, please seriously keep smoking. Don't bother vaping. Because Stanton Glantz said that the evidence shows that it might not be better for you. So, you know. Despite 68,000 doctors worldwide that represent the Royal College of Physicians, forget the 15 past presidents of the Society for Tobacco and Nicotine Research, all being on board with vaping, all writing a letter to the FDA to change the name of EVALI. Yeah, forget about all that. Forget about the governments that encourage vaping. Forget about all of the randomized controlled trials. Forget about all of that science. Forget about all of it. It might not be true. Stanton Glantz is the trustworthy one. Former professor, disgraced, retracted, Uncle Touchy sexual harassment Stanton Glantz is the trustworthy one, and not the 68,000 doctors worldwide represented by the Royal College of Physicians. Okay, Parade magazine. Okay. But wait, there's more. American Vapor Manufacturers Association says the article was erroneous and irresponsible all along, but by republishing and presenting it as fresh journalism, Parade has compounded the harm to readers and the public. So far, the editors have ignored all appeals to set the record straight. Parade magazine is just, nope. Eyes closed, fingers in the ears, la 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 la, can't hear you, la 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 la, Stanton Glantz said so, la la la. Worse yet, Parade has a much broader track record of dangerously misleading the public on vaping, more than just this one article. Okay, well, let's go back in time. Let's see what Parade magazine has done to help cultivate a culture of harm reduction in the United States, like saving American lives. Doesn't that feel good to save American lives? What's up, Parade magazine? Oh, everything you need to know about vaping's real effect on your lungs. Scary piece from 2019. Scary piece from 2019. Here's one from 2020 that falsely says nicotine vaping causes popcorn lung and lipoid pneumonia, while the author postures to say they're clearing up misinformation. Want to quit vaping? Stop scrolling and listen up. Social media can make it harder. You want to quit vaping? Vaping causes popcorn lung, you guys. You know that thing that has been observed in 0 vapers? Don't worry, it's coming. Popcorn lung's coming for all of you. Popcorn lung's coming for all of you. Merchants of doubt. More popcorn lung. Here is Parade's Tori Yates hyping the completely debunked claim on Parade's widely viewed show they call TMI on YouTube. Is vaping worse than smoking? Popcorn lung. 117,000 people at this time have viewed this hogwash. Sewage journalism. Here's another from 2020. Falsely tying nicotine vaping to EVALI outbreak, which, listen carefully, journalists of America, has 0 clinical basis in facts. Why flavored vape juice is so bad for you, no matter how good it tastes. Here, we can read a little bit of this article with this cute girl in the mini dress. You know by now that vaping is a really, really, really dangerous habit. The CDC reported, 68 deaths related to the use of vaping products and about 2,700 vaping-caused hospitalizations. So the same themes, the same scare words, the same weasel words over and over and over again. Some once assumed that vaping was better than smoking for your lungs and health. That's a dangerous assumption. Let's review the facts. You got any of those facts handy, Parade magazine? It doesn't seem like you have any. Look, here's another one. September 2020. Man, Parade went all in on anti-vaping in 2020. All in. Yeah, I've heard that too. I've heard this too. You know, be careful, you guys out there. If you vape a custard, you get caramel corn lung. Yeah. It's worse than that. You get everything lung. It's not just diacetyl and popcorn lung. Like if you vape peachy ice vape liquid, how do you know that you're out of the clear for peach lung? You don't. That's the mystery. I vape pony on acid all the time. What if I get strawberry lung? Huh? You gonna be okay with me getting strawberry lung? Ew, yellow teeth, premature wrinkles, and hair loss. These are the grossest side effects of vaping. You know what's not in this article on the grossest side effects of vaping? Because I can think of some grosser side effects of tobacco use. They don't mention things like cancer. They don't say, ew, yellow teeth, premature wrinkles, and lung cancer. These are the grossest side effects of vaping. They don't mention lung cancer. That's a pretty gross side effect of tobacco use. COPD. Not sure if anybody's ever had any experience, God forbid, of someone with COPD in your family or a COPD patient. It is heartbreaking. It's agony. It's torture, and it's heartbreaking. Didn't list that. Didn't list COPD. Didn't list any of the other cancers associated with cigarette smoking. One thing that's not in this article, emphysema. Emphysema. So smoking will fucking kill you dead, and Parade magazine wants you to not vape because ew.
Yellow teeth, premature wrinkles, and hair loss.
See, I don't believe any of that to even be true. Parade magazine has such zero credibility. I need to go back and find this article. I need to go back and see the science that says that I'm going to get premature wrinkles and hair loss from nicotine. I mean, that's all vaping is. Propylene glycol vegetable glycerin, benign. Nicotine is the risky part of vaping. So you mean to tell me that nicotine causes premature wrinkles, hair loss? Don't quit smoking. Don't quit smoking because we're going to think you're gross. If you start vaping, I'm going to go, that's gross. You're gross. You're going to have premature wrinkles. That's gross. Should we keep reading the Age article? Daryl. Oh, God damn it, Daryl. Please tell me you're vaping. Please tell me you're vaping. The Riccardo Pelosa in Italy, he's an Italian cardiologist, I believe. He did a 3-year study and a 5-year study on COPD patients who switched to vaping. And at the 5-year checkups, they had ameliorated COPD symptoms. And that appears to last long term. So if you have COPD and you're vaping, your COPD symptoms should be relieved, should be ameliorated in some way. And when that happens, that will last. That will last long term. Here, let me go find the science real quick. Let's track down some science, some COPD science. I thought I had it on GrimmGreen.com. Just search GrimmGreen.com for COPD. I think it brings it right up. Yep, here you go. I'll post this link in the description. I'll post this link wherever links are needed. But right here, COPD smokers who switch to e-cigs, health outcomes at 5 years. The benefits gained appear to last long term. COPD smokers who switch to e-cigarettes, health outcomes at their 5-year checkup. The conclusion was that this study suggests that e-cigarettes may ameliorate objective and subjective COPD outcomes and that the benefits gained appear to last long term. E-cigarette use for abstinence and smoking reduction may ameliorate some of the harm resulting from tobacco smoking in COPD patients. Full studies right here. Check it out. I'll link to the full study. There's no need to go to GrimmGreen.com. We'll just go. You can link to the full study right there. So I'm pulling for you. I'm pulling for you. Daryl, I'm in your corner, man. I'm pulling for you. Damn. And honestly, I think it's fucked up that Parade Magazine would just have Daryl continue to smoke cigarettes. Don't bother trying to switch, Daryl. No, there's no science that says that vaping helps COPD patients. Ignore all this data. Ignore the 5-year study done on COPD patients who switched to e-cigarettes. Ignore that. Ignore all that data. Ignore all that data. Go to the best adult dating site on the internet, lovechat1.xyz. Okay, I'm just kidding. So that's where we're at. That's where we're at with Parade Magazine. Oh, wait. There's more. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Vaping while pregnant? Here's another reason to stop vaping. It may keep you from getting pregnant. It may keep you from getting pregnant. So their headline implies that vaping in itself, while you're pregnant, isn't bad for you or your baby, but it's bad because it's going to make your man's dick not work, and then it may keep you from getting pregnant. Merchants of doubt. Merchants of doubt. I'd like to see someone from Parade Magazine walk up to a COPD patient in the hospital and go, "Are you sure you want to switch to e-cigarettes? You're going to have yellow teeth and maybe can't get pregnant." Fuck those people. Good God, fuck those people. Are you sure? Be careful, because here's everything you need to know about the mysterious lung disease in the United States. September 30th, 2019, and in an article published just 2 days ago, it's still a mysterious lung disease in the United States. Maybe in September 30th of 2019, there was a little bit of mystery, but I believe by the end of September 2019, we knew that EVALI was directly related to vitamin E acetate. Directly, right? Mysterious! Merchants of doubt! Vaping is mysterious! At least you know what's in cigarettes, you guys. This August, news broke about a previously unknown vaping-related illness that medical authorities believe is tied to vaping products. Oh my God, there's not much that could make me more enraged than going back and reading old EVALI articles. Old EVALI articles. And I hate, like, here, this is going to sound terrible. I'm going to sound like a terrible person right now. What was it? 26 deaths? How many deaths was it in EVALI? 20-something deaths? Maybe it was even 80-something deaths. It's heartless to say, but I don't... Cigarettes kill almost 500,000 people every single year in the United States. Almost 500,000 people every single year, year after year. And then EVALI happens, and let's say under 100 people die. It's all contained in 2019. We have not seen a case of EVALI in the last 2 years. It was directly attributed to vitamin E acetate by the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. And still, in 2022, people are telling people that smoke not to vape because of these mysterious lung injuries? What the fuck? What the fuck? That's wholly disingenuous. Wholly disingenuous. I cannot believe that. Well, careful. Look, I know you're a cigarette smoker, but you should think twice about vaping. Oh, really? Why is that? Because in 2019, some kids died from vaping vitamin E acetate in black market THC cartridges. So don't take this lightly. Be careful when you're switching from smoking to vaping, because vaping can kill you dead just like that. One puff. It's all it takes. Dead. It's killing people dead. I'm so sorry to hear that, Daryl. I'm so sorry to hear that. Daryl says in 2015, he says, I lost my fiance to COPD. That's horrible. That's horrible. Oh, spectacular. Okay, well, here's a side note. Side note from Daryl. Here, let's go back here. They are using me for data, Daryl says. My doctor in New Orleans got me hooked up with somebody out of Houston that is studying my charts every time I go to the doctor to see if I improve or not. So far, it has. I am so confident that it will improve. I've seen the science. I've seen it. It will improve. Daryl, I'm really pulling for you, man. I'm really pulling for you, bud. I appreciate you being here. I appreciate you sharing your story with us. 2, and 3, I'm pulling for you. I'm here in your corner. Daryl, email me, please, every time you go have a checkup. Let me know what they say. Let me know what they say. Oh, but wait, there's more. There's even more from Parade magazine. Despite everything we've just seen, where they want you to not vape because of EVALI, not vape because it can't get you pregnant, not vape because it makes your teeth yellow, not vape because it makes you lose your hair, not vape because of this, that, and the other. Here's all the reasons why you shouldn't vape. Here's 50 articles on why you shouldn't vape. but also we have promo codes available. And here at Parade.com, we're all about sharing products that we love with our audience. You can make a purchase on an item seen on this page. We may even earn a commission. However, all picks are independently chosen unless otherwise mentioned. Our number one pick, a CBD Strawberry Lemonade Vape Pen. Are you fucking kidding me, Parade Magazine? I literally need to know if this is a joke. I really need to know if I'm being trolled by Parade Magazine right now, because I just thought I read a whole article about how you should never vape because mysterious lung illnesses, and then you're hawking flavored CBD vape pens on your site that you make money from? Bruh, clown world. Clown world. It's a fucking vape pen. It's a vape pen. It's a vape pen. It's a vape pen. Parade Magazine hawking vape pens while telling people not to vape because of mysterious lung illnesses. But those lung illnesses, they're not in... You guys, I need to make something clear. We here at Parade Magazine, there's none of the lung illness stuff in the vape pens that we're going to promote to you, okay? Only in the vape pens that other people promote to you. Not in ours that we make money off of. These vape pens are great, and we recommend them, and they're flavored. Fucking clown shoes. Thank you, Ern. Yeah, I can't think of a better way to say it. It's fucking clown shoes. They should run a long parade down a short pier. I agree. Are there health risks of vaping? Are there health risks of vaping? Not really. The only health risk of vaping that they mention in this Parade Magazine article is EVALI. That's it. That's the one thing. They even mention cannabis products and vitamin E acetate in this article. Well, Stanton Glantz did. Anyway, we believe maybe 80% of those vaping deaths were caused by people customizing their vaping devices for cannabis products. Way wrong! Holy fucking wrong! Couldn't be more wrong. You can't modify this or this or this or these. You can't modify these to use vitamin E acetate. Just doesn't work. These require water-soluble PGVG nicotine mixes to properly vaporize. You can't just clog this with oil and it'll work. Wrong. Sorry, super wrong. Customizing their vaping devices for cannabis products? We know that's not what was going on. Now that I know that this is a ghost article from 2000, I'm starting to see like, holy shit, this is really super outdated. Crazy super outdated. Where the cannabis was dissolved in vitamin E acetate. So Stanton Glantz thinks that Vapers took an RDA or an RTA or something, modified it so that we could dissolve vitamin E acetate in the cannabis and then vape it. And that was our goal. That was our mission. That's what Stanton Glantz believed happened, rather than black market dealers thinning their THC to make it last longer, diluting it with vitamin E acetate. That's what actually happened. People were arrested for it. They just looked like little dab carts. Nothing modified about it. Not an RDA, not an RTA, not anything we would ever consider to use for vaping ever. I don't know how Stanton Glantz continues to be like so empirically wrong, and then people just listened to him. This journalist just listened to him and was like, oh, really? 80% of those deaths were caused by people customizing their vaping devices? That's unbelievable, Stanton Glantz. Everything you're telling me is completely true, despite all the evidence to the contrary. That's it. That's the one health risk of vaping. What are the health risks of vaping? There's one, and it's not even having anything to do with nicotine. Has nothing to do with nicotine and everything to do with THC and vitamin E acetate. Okay. Okay. Let's read a little bit more. Well, okay, let's wrap this up. We all know the bad news about cigarettes. They cause cancer. When e-cigs popped up on the scene in the last decade, the promise seemed too good to be true. All the joys of inhaling nicotine with none of the scary stats about lung cancer. It's not too good to be true. It's just true. That's it. It's just true. E-cigs are all of the joy of inhaling nicotine with none of the scary stats about lung cancer. Parade magazine got this correct, even though they didn't mean to. Except, oh no, as with most things that seem too good to be true, e-cigarettes are not the boon to lung health that they initially seemed. As the number of vaping-related deaths piled up last year, experts scrambled to understand the exact reason e-cigs were killing people. All of this is wrong. All of this is a lie. As the number of vaping-related deaths piled up last year, piled up? Experts scrambled to understand the exact reason e-cigs were killing people. E-cigs weren't killing people. The things that were killing people were not e-cigs. No one calls them e-cigs. I imagine this woman from Parade magazine who wrote this article, if you saw a bus driving down the street, go, oh, look, it's a bus. She'd be like, no. It's a car. It's a bus. No, it's a car. It's a bus. Same difference. No. Very different, actually. Very different. Dab carts are not e-cigs. E-cigs are not dab carts. They're not cross-compatible. You can't vape nicotine out of a dab cart, and you can't vape THC oil out of a nicotine cart. This is just not a thing. I'm getting too ragey. That's the problem. I'm getting too ragey. Okay? I'm getting too ragey. And this is a perfect example of backpedaling. And while the number of people smoking has steadily declined in the past 20 years, an estimated 30 million Americans smoke every day on most days, according to the CDC, the number of e-cig puffers rose 300% in the United States from 2016 to 2019. According to the British Medical Journal, there are about 7 million adult e-cigarette users in the U.S., and the growth rate among adolescent use is higher than any substance tracked in the last 44 years. How's that for another lie? How's that for another lie? The growth rate among adolescents is higher than any substance tracked in the last 44 years. Higher than any substance tracked in the last 44 years. I mean, I guess you can say that, but you're just lying. There's no truth to that. There's just nothing. There's just zero substance there. That's insane to me. Okay, I can't keep reading this. I cannot keep reading this. I'm just going to... Should we keep reading this? No. Okay, we're done. We're done reading this. But there's more backpedaling. Look, there's more backpedaling. Despite these health concerns, vaping companies still represent e-cigarettes as a viable method to help keep people smoking. In fact, a study in the New England Journal of Medicine, 18% of smokers who used e-cigs as a cessation tool were able to quit and stay quit for an entire year. Now, that number might not sound particularly impressive, but consider it's nearly double the 10% of smokers who quit using traditional methods. Oh, so Parade Magazine is saying not only are they substantially less harmful, but there's a study in the New England Journal of Medicine that shows they're almost twice as effective as any NRT on the market right now. Oh, okay. So vaping helps you quit smoking, you're thinking. Cool. Except it doesn't. And I'm not making that up. That's literally what it says. Okay, so vaping works to help you quit smoking, you're thinking. Cool. Except it doesn't. Here's the science that shows that it does, except it doesn't. They're asking us to not believe the things we are seeing with our own eyes. They're asking us not to believe the things we're hearing with our own ears. They're asking us to disregard the science that I have read with my own eyes. Fuck Parade Magazine. Fuck Parade Magazine. They have to take this down. They have to. Can we get on Twitter and yell at them or something? Like, how can we do this? What would be the best way to get this taken down? Just call them incessantly, emails incessantly, tweet at them incessantly. What I would like to do, and it would take years, is go by this like one line at a time and point out everything that's wrong with a corrective statement and a source. It would take you years to get through this. Years to get through this. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. All right, you guys. Well, here's the thing. This isn't no vlog, so I'm not looking to stream for no 4 hours or anything like that. Let me take a quick look and make sure I didn't forget to mention anything. I think we got it all. I think we covered it. If you want to find that article to Parade Magazine, I'm not going to be posting it in the description of this video. You'll have to go on Twitter to find it. And thank you, Retsbeard. Let's hydrate one last time. Well, it made me lightheaded. That's how hydrated I am. You get so hydrated, you just get lightheaded. Okay. Hey, you guys. Hey, thanks for hanging out for me for 2 hours while I just yell and get mad. And I don't yell and get mad just for the sake of yelling and getting mad. It just genuinely upsets me. And I can't think of something more like fucking sinister and evil you could do to somebody than to tell someone that smokes cigarettes that vaping might not work for you. It might not work. The science says it does. There's a New England Journal of Medicine, but no. It might not work. You should be scared of it. Wrinkles. Think about wrinkles. What about emphysema? Wrinkles. Think about wrinkles. What about COPD, lung cancer, liver cancer, heart failure, heart disease? Are any of those concerns with vaping? Wrinkles. Wrinkles. And EVALI. Don't forget about EVALI. Keep being terrified about EVALI. Keep being terrified about EVALI. So, another day, another week, another TBN. I'm just here to fight misinformation. That's really what I'm trying to do. You know, I usually have a co-host, Danielle Jones. She fact checks me. We fact check each other. We fact check the system, you know. We care about truth here. We care about facts here. We care about science here. In fact, no, I don't care about truth. I care about facts. I care about facts and science. Truth is too subjective. We live in a post-truth world. Facts are always facts, and I care about facts. And the fact is, if you are a person that smokes cigarettes, you should immediately, without hesitation, as quickly as you can, get a vaping product. Don't even think about it. Just throw your cigarette on the ground and go to the local vape shop and buy a vape and talk to the guy and go, sell me a vape. Vape right now. Or You could try bird watching, you know? You could try, CDC does recommend bird watching. They do. So you could try bird watching. I personally would say save your life and go buy a vape. Go buy a vape. And you know, there's nothing, New Wave, got a super chat here from New Wave Dave. My cat's rage sweat is worse than mine. He yelled profanities and threw his beer at the TV. I wish I could high five your cat right now, Dave. I would high five that cat. I would say yes. Throw the beer, yell profanities, be angry. Because remember that the benchmark is combustible smoking. That's it. Remember. Remember that that's the benchmark. So I'm going to wrap this up, you guys. There's one last thing I want to mention. If you're in California, do I have any California people here in the chat with me right now? Just me? If you're in California, this November, we get to vote on the flavor ban. There was a flavor ban that was pushed through in California. Newsom signed it into law, banning all vapor products, okay? But before it could take effect, voters gathered over 1 million signatures from California residents. And because of that, now this gets to go to a vote. It's a referendum. It's a ballot referendum on the next election in November. If you're in California, we're voting no on 31. No on 31. No on 31. Voting no on 31. I'll be damned if I'm going to let a flavor ban happen in my state on my watch. I have very little to do with that, and honestly, very little effectiveness in changing the outcome of this. But I'm going to encourage everybody in California to please vote. Please vote this November. Please vote this November. If you don't even vote for anything else, just vote no on 31. No on 31. Fuck flavor bans. All right, you guys, that's it. Oh, my poll. I forgot my poll. Oh, okay, you guys were right. You guys were all correct. I had a poll in the chat, you know, based off of today's subject matter and the such as, what is a bigger concern to you? Youth alcohol use, youth THC use, or youth nicotine use? 9% said youth nicotine use. 16% said youth THC use. And 74%, I answered this as well, it's obviously youth alcohol use. 100%, 100 times over. In fact, the way that they're ranked right now is their order of importance. I might even put nicotine use below some other things. It's like alcohol, THC, like, you know, texting while driving. There's some other things in there that, you know, risky behaviors that youths certainly should not be doing. And vaping should be at the very bottom of that list. At the lowest spot of the list should be vaping. Should be vaping. So, okay, you guys. I think that's it. No, I mean, listen, we're the United States of America. We don't just kick people out. And, you know, you could say the same thing. You know, here's the thing. Here's what I'm replying to. Not to offend some good people, Grimm, who I like. Keep in mind, you're telling this to a native Californian. I was born and raised here, and I live here still. I heard the best way we can make a great America great again is to drop California and New York off the country. I mean, I guess so. If you don't like your GDP, that's fine. If you don't like jobs, then that's fine too. Just giving you a hard time. But yeah, I think that's it. I don't like to promote. Here's my stance on this. I know it's easy to make state jokes, and it's like, oh, the people in Florida, or oh, the people in Texas, or California, or Nazi-chusets. I don't find that helpful or constructive in any way. You're an American. I'm going to defend your rights the same way I'm going to defend my rights. And state lines, because I'm in California and you're in Texas, we're supposed to be at odds with each other for some reason. We can't both care about the nation. We can't both care about our state. We can't both want to be doing the right thing and voting with our hearts and voting the right way. We can't both want to accomplish that. We have to be at odds with each other. We have to call Massachusetts Nazi-chusetts. We have to call California Commie-fornia. Sorry. These are Americans. People in Texas. I might disagree with some people in Texas, but you're Americans. We're countrymen together. We're all in this together. And the more that we fight with each other and call each other's states Commie-fornia and Nazi-chusetts, the longer that we're just going to be fucked as a nation. We have to get together. Otherwise, we've seen what the government can do. We've seen what corporations can do. Let's get on the same team, people. Let's get on the same team. So signing off from Commie-fornia. Signing off from Commie-fornia, California. It's me. I don't really have an exit screen, so I'm just going to say goodbye. I'm going to say I love you. Any mech companies still exist in 2022? Yeah, Chris. Yeah, bro. Unicorn Vapes, RCM, Russian Custom Mods, plenty. Still plenty of mech mods. Look, if you want a mech mod, I'll sell you a mech mod. Clutch, you can get the Mike Vapes Clutch. Dovpo, still cranking out mechs. I'm really fucking tired of the divide. It's obnoxious. We're America, yeah, exactly. America, baby. I don't care. We disagree on things. We can disagree on things. Disagreeing on things and then coming together is what America's about. Okay. I'm trying to get too patriotic here because I'm not the greatest patriot right now, but I'm thankful to live in the United States of America. And I see people in other states as my fellow countrymen who I want to defend their rights as well. I think it's pointless to fight amongst ourselves. I think that's something that the politicians want us to do. The politicians want a rivalry between California and Texas, and that's why we constantly hear about, oh, these Californians are leaving for Texas. Texas must be the much better state. Okay, well, why don't we just let them move and let people move wherever they want without making it like a thing? Maybe they just like barbecue more, or maybe they want a better price for a house than they can get in California. Fuck, we're all on the same team, you guys. All right, anyway, I'll stop being a sad sack. Let's get out of here. Peace out, you guys. I'll see you Thursday for a vlog. It should be another doozy. We're going to build something, and it might be the K-Fun 10, okay? It might be the K-Fun 10. I'm down. I'm down to be united with people I agree with. I'm down to be united with people I don't agree with. I'm down for it. We're not going to get anywhere unless we have the conversation, and we need to have the conversation without yelling at each other. I'm sick of this war of the loud. I'm sick of whoever's louder is correct. Idiots. We need to think critically and get together on this shit. Okay, so I'm sorry. I'll stop ranting. I love you guys. Hey, peace out. Thanks for being down for the cause. If you're out there on Twitter, say hi. I'd love to retweet some of your shit. And hopefully I'll see you guys Thursday. Have a great day, everybody. Remember that no matter what anybody tells you, this is Commie-fornia. Okay, I'm just kidding. No matter what anybody tells you, vaping is at least an order of magnitude safer for you than burning and inhaling deadly combustible tobacco cigarettes. So you should switch literally right now without hesitation and then defend that into the ground. Be proud, Vapers. I was going to say this on Twitter the other day, but there's not a name that people can call me where I'm like, oh, that hurt. I grew up as a long-haired, chubby, acne-covered, dyslexic sci-fi nerd. There's not much you can sling at me that's going to really hurt. I've been on YouTube for 13 years. I have some pretty thick skin. So anybody can make all the vaping jokes they want. And I go, yeah, fuck yeah. Proud vapor. I'll wear that badge of honor. Hell yeah, I'm a vapor. I'm a proud ass vapor. Okay, guys, I'll stop ranting now. When Danielle's not here to keep me in check, you see, I just go off the rails. Later, skaters, eat ass and skate fast. I love that. Peace and reason to all. I like that even more. Big love, you guys. I'll see you on Thursday. Peace.